evening. Hi, my name is Margaret, and this is Recipe Amateur Investigator. Today we're going to be making the Amaretto Cheesecake. Everybody's been asking me for this recipe, so today or tonight's the night we're going to start this recipe. So let's buckle up, get in your comfy pajamas like I'm wearing my somas today. So get comfy because this is going to take a while. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to be doing is making the crust. When we make the crust today, it's going to be 1 3/4 cups of vanilla wafers. I already have them chopped up. So we're going to put those in the bowl because we're going to make the crust first. The next thing we're going to do is get your almonds. You're going to get your almonds and you're going to get, let's see, a 1/2 cup of almonds, but we're going to chop them up. I just bought this KitchenAid chopper. I talked to my cousin Teresa and I asked her what to use, either a food processor, a chopper, what is best, what I'm going to be doing. She suggests this KitchenAid. So I'm so glad that my cousin told me about this KitchenAid. And it's pretty cool, this KitchenAid, because you can do a lot with it. And it has like a little spout in there where if you want to make dipping sauce or stuff or add olive oil, you can do it right from here. So instead of having to stop what you're doing. So let's start. I'm going to put this on chop. We're going to chop this up. And mix it. You just press down and it chops. Perfect. Open it. And we're just going to pour it all in this one bowl. The next thing we're going to get is our brown sugar. This brown sugar is going to be 1/4 of brown sugar. So I have that in here. We're going to mix it up. Let's mix it up. And while I'm mixing it up, trying to get this, you can just do it with your hands. That's normally what I do. Mix it up. Keep it mixed up. I'm going to melt 3/4 of a cup of butter. So let me melt this up. It only takes about a minute to get it melted. And meanwhile, we're just going to get this all mixed up. And get your, you're going to need a cheesecake pan, a spring pan. I got mine at Walmart, and they're not very expensive. Or you can go to like a home goods store. I got one over there, so I bought a couple of them to try them out. So let's just get this out of the way. And start. Get my butter. Nice and melted. And we're going to put the butter in here. And then you just mix it up. Once we're finished mixing it up, you're going to be getting little hands dirty because we're going to be putting it in the cheesecake pan. You do not need to grease the cheesecake pan. You just need to put it in there and press all around it. Now, if you have a food allergy to almond, I suggest using more vanilla wafers. If you don't want to put almonds in, and you just pour it all in. Push all my stuff to the side. And you just press it until you get your crust. Sorry, I got 3 little Westies, and right now they're playing. So if you hear some little dogs in the background. Okay, so this is really nice. You see how simple and easy it is? Looks nice. Then we're going to put it in the refrigerator while we're making our filling. So the next thing we're going to do is our filling. When you do your filling, you're going to get 4 8-ounce of Philadelphia cream cheese. That's what I use, Philadelphia cream cheese. You're going to whip it up. I started the process because it takes a while to whip it, but we're going to go ahead and whip it. You can use a beater. I'm using my KitchenAid. So we're going to beat it. And once we're finished with the beating it, we're going to start the procedure of making the filling. You're going to get 1.5 cup of sugar. And you're going to pour it in. I'm just going to lower the speed. And get all that sugar in. Perfect. We got all the sugar in. You need to make sure we mix it. So we're just going to mix it some more. It's getting nice and creamy if you want to take a look. The next thing we're going to do is start adding in the cornstarch. With the cornstarch, we're going to get 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. add that in, let it beat. Perfect. Let it beat, let it get good. And if you have to, just stop it and scrape the sides. So this way everything's mixing in here nice and good. And let's start this up again. And beat it just a little bit more. Don't think I got all that cornstarch in here, so let's put more. Okay, after we add the cornstarch, we're going to start adding in the eggs. Now when we do the eggs, you're going to do one at a time, and what you're going to do is lower the speed because you're not going to beat so much with the eggs. So I'm going to put the speed on low. Got one egg in. Well, I've got 3 in there. Let's just beat it. Then we've got another one. And it's starting to look really creamy. I don't know why this lady got a 5-star only once. I don't know why nobody has tried this recipe. It's very good. Her name is Kristen. I'll be putting the recipe on my Facebook and also on the YouTube channel. And it's the same name for the Facebook, which is Recipe Amateur Investigator. So let's get, now the next thing we're going to do is add in the amaretta. With the amaretta, it's 1/3 cup of amaretta. We're going to pour that in. You can really just smell that amaretta. Next, you're going to get the sour cream. Now, the sour cream, it says it's a 24 ounce or you get 3 8-ounce. So let me go ahead and turn this off, lower it, and put the sour cream in. So just a few seconds, put more sour cream, and then we'll beat it again. And then we're going to put a little bit of vanilla in there as well. And the vanilla is going to be 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Okay. So we got the sour cream in there. Now we're just going to raise it back up and let it stir. And then we're going to get the vanilla. Like I said, I like using the vanilla from Mexico, but you can use any type of vanilla you want. And you're going to use 1 teaspoon. Just let it stir in here. So it looks good. The next thing I'm going to do is shut this off. And then I'm going to go get my crust that we just made with vanilla wafer and almond and butter. Now your oven should have been preheated to 300, just to let you know. So make sure your oven is preheated to 300. So let's take this out. And if you're using the KitchenAid, I'm going to be really honest with you. When I did the Philadelphia cream cheese, I used a paddle. And then when I finished whipping it, then I put in the beater because it says to beat. So let's go ahead and pour this in. Oh, look how nice and creamy it looks. Looks good, huh? And then you're going to bake this for an hour and a half at 300 degrees. Now, she said an hour and a half. I'm going to say an hour and 15 minutes. I'm using a gas stove. I don't know if she used electric or what, but my gas stove, I'm baking it at 300 for an hour and 15 minutes. And then I check. When you know it's done, we have to be still wiggle a little bit in the center. So give me 1 moment. So we got that in the oven. I already have one already made. So this is the one I did earlier today. It has a little crack in it, but it's okay. It's still good. So, and I had leftover. Now this is an 8-inch. So I had some leftover. So what I did is got these little Rachel Ray bowls that I have, and I put some crust, and I made some more right here. Be nice for a dinner if you have like a dinner. And you don't want to cut the cake, you can give somebody one of these right after dinner. But So the next thing we're going to do is make the almond topping. Let me put my little Curtis stone pan that I talked about. Again, I apologize. I got 3 little Westies. So with this one, with the butter, sorry guys, with the butter, it's going to be 3 tablespoons of butter. You're going to put it in here. And we're going to let that melt. And then you're going to get 3/4 of almonds, as well as your sugar. Now your sugar, it says 2 tablespoons, which I have my 2 tablespoons here. Once your cheesecake is in the oven, after it cooks for like your hour and a half to your hour and 15, depends if you're using gas or electric, you leave it in the oven for at least an hour and a half to 2 hours. She said an hour and a half to 2 hours. I say maybe an hour. That's just me because I'm using a gas stove. So I already have mine already done, and it's cooled at room temperature. Now I'm going to make the almonds. So I'm going to put this in here, the butter. You're going to put your sugar. Like I said, with this sugar, it's going to be 2 tablespoons. Actually, I got the wrong one. 2 tablespoons. You're going to stick it in and make this. Okay. Let the butter go down. And then you're going to put your almonds in. Now you can't put this in your, you cannot put this all in your pan automatically, I mean on top of your cheesecake while it's hot. You have to let it at least cool down. So just put that in. I wish y'all could smell this because they're toasting. You can smell the almonds toasting. And we're just going to keep rubbing, till they get a little brown. Just mix it up. And this also, so this recipe has 4 parts. The first part is going to be your pie, your crust. The next one's your filling. Then this is the topping. And then we got an amaretto cream syrup that is so good to die for. So it looks like it's done. I'm going to move this over. Take this and I'm going to put it into a bowl. So this way I can show you how to make the cream sauce. So let me just get all this. Put this in here. God, this smells really good. Got a little mess going on over here. I'm just going to, look how nice this pan is from Curtis Stone. I got this through HSN. I love this pan. And I'm going to do the amaretta right in the same pan. We're going to clean it up real quick. But first, let me get all this. Keep stirring it just around. And let me just do a little wipe up in this Curtis Stone pan real quick. And then we're going to start the sauce. Now with the sauce, you're going to need heavy cream. And the heavy cream and amount is going to be 1 cup of heavy cream. I got my heavy cream right here. So I'm going to put the heavy cream in. I'm going to lower the heat a little bit. I'm going to put it down to like maybe about between low and medium. I'm going to open it. So I'm going to put it in. Then I'm going to go ahead and put 3 tablespoons of amaretta. Open up the amaretta. Have you ever had coffee with some amaretta in it? The real amaretta is delicious. So let's go ahead and put 3 tablespoons. 1, 2, 3. We got that in there. Then you're going to add sugar again. This recipe does have a lot of sugar. So just to let you know, it's simmering. So now I'm going to add in, this is going to be 3 tablespoons of sugar. After we add in the sugar, we're going to add in some cornstarch again to make it a little thick. And with the cornstarch, it's 2½ tablespoons. So let's get all that cornstarch in. And just mix it up until it gets a little thick. Lower my heat just a little bit. Okay. And I'm going to stir these almonds up because I don't want them to stick. Just keep them, you know, and plus to try to get them to cool down so I can show you how I do the cheesecake over here to decorate it. So let's turn this almost off on low. See how it's getting thicker, the sauce. Okay. And while that's doing that, I'm going to take out a cheesecake that I made earlier, yesterday. Now, when a cheesecake comes out of the oven, you have, like I said, you let it rest in the oven for like 1 hour to 2 hours. After that, you let it sit at room temperature. Once it's done at room temperature, you make your almonds, and then you make your toppings. And then you put it in the refrigerator for 8 hours, and you just cover it. Look how pretty that looks. Let me take the cover off. And that's what the cheesecake looks like. Isn't that pretty and delicious? Now I'm just going to come over here, take it out. And when you take it out of the cheesecake pan, it's like a spring. So you just lift it, and voila. Look how pretty it looks. Cheesecake's beautiful, huh? So let me let this cool. The sauce is done, and I'm just going to kind of do it with this a little bit. Let it cool. And the one thing about this Curtis stone pan, you can even use this metal on here. It's never going to scrape. You can even cut in it. Okay? And just want to get it a little thicker. Let's get that. So the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and put those almonds on the cake. Okay, let me go get this one. And if the cake does break up a little bit like that, it's okay because your almonds are going to cover it anyway. People are never going to know. So I know I have a spatula over here. I'll just use this one. Okay. I'm making this one for my daughter, and this one I'm giving to my son. And then the one we're doing. And you just put it on. Is that pretty? It looks. Oh, the almonds smell delicious. I just can't tell you the aroma on here. She's going to be so surprised when I bring this over to them for tomorrow. And I'm going to save some of the almonds for those that I did. So next, I'm going to get this done and show you. See how pretty that looks? And I'm going to put it in the refrigerator again. So overnight for 8 hours, it should be done. And it'd be a nice little dessert. Now, I like to make this, I think, for the holidays. Now, I think this is like a basic cheesecake. If you want, I tried experiment with the same batter. In that machine with the KitchenAid, I got a whole lemon. I de-seeded it first, put the whole lemon in there, and then I blended it up to puree it, and then I put that inside the cheesecake. And it was like a lemon cheesecake, and then I used some of the gravy to put on top. So you can kind of do anything you want. This is kind of like a basic. Now, I'm going to show you, I'm going to get a slice of this cheesecake. Let me bring it over to here. That look pretty? Sorry guys, with all this little mess going on. Let me go ahead and cut it. It's so rich. What a nice dessert to bring to somebody's house for the holidays. Well, you know, it's very rich. Looks very expensive. So I'm going to go get my plate. not the best cutter, but look how pretty that looks. That looks good, huh? And here. And then you get the amaretta sauce. Now that's going to be really good. Just get your sauce. And put it on top of it. Oh, that looks good, huh? And then taste it. That's the taste is in the pudding, they say, huh? Delicioso. So if you'd like to have this recipe, please follow me on Facebook at Recipe Amateur Investigator. Hit like, and then you'll see the recipe, or go to my YouTube channel. You'll see it there as well. And I want to thank you for allowing me to come into my kitchen again and trying this recipe that my family loves so much. Stay tuned for more recipes in the future. Bye, guys.